Sandra is 34 years old, a female obstetrician and gynecologist. She is dating a man. She has been exposed to so many cases of women being cheated on and having abortions that Sandra is always on guard against her boyfriend. After 6 months of dating, her boyfriend asked to break up, and she discovered that he had been seeing another woman before. This made Sandra disappointed, and her desire for love became more distant. Sandra went to find her best friend, who owns a pub, to confide in. Sandra notices a handsome young bartender, Finn. She went to ask Finn where the pub owner was, and he asked Sandra why she was looking for the pub owner. She was a little annoyed and said it had nothing to do with him and to answer her. Finn is impressed with Sandra. He is 24 years old this year, just graduated with a degree in journalism. Finn said that the pub owner was out. Sandra sat down at the table and ordered a drink. When Maddie returned, Sandra had drunk a lot of alcohol. Sandra confided in Maddie why she was once admired by so many people, but is now very lonely and has become a boring and deceived woman. Maddie asked her younger brother Finn to help carry Sandra back to her apartment. She lay on the bed and held Finn's hand tightly. Finn looked at Sandra and slept next to her. In the morning, Sandra screamed when she saw Finn lying next to her. Finn immediately explained that he was Maddie's brother who had brought her home last night. Sandra calmed down and asked Finn to leave. Sandra arrived at work, opened her phone, and saw a friend request from Finn. She curiously visits Finn's personal page and feels envious of Finn's exciting life. He often travels, plays sports, and is a writer loved by many female audiences. Sandra was drinking at Maddie's pub when her ex-boyfriend came to find her, hoping she would come back. He said that because Sandra didn't allow him to be close, he had an affair. But in reality, he really had feelings for her. Sandra immediately hit him with her bag and looked at Finn, who was standing there witnessing everything. Sandra asked Finn to kick her ex out. Finn took advantage of the time when there were no customers to ask Sandra why she didn't want to be close to her ex-lover. But the day before, when she was drunk, he found her very warm. The question made Sandra embarrassed and told Finn that he was a child and didn't understand. Finn was even more impressed with Sandra because no one had ever said that to him. From Maddie, Finn knows that Sandra is obsessed with work and is gradually losing faith in love. Finn goes to the hospital where Sandra works and sends her copies of his novels. A colleague of Sandra's happened to see the novel and loved it. The whole hospital read it, making Sandra curious. Sandra tried reading and was drawn into the story of a woman just like her. One day, Sandra saw a woman giving birth alone at the hospital, which made her feel very sad. She went to Maddie's pub and saw a girl talking and kissing Finn. Immediately, Sandra left disappointed. Finn hurriedly chased after her. Some drunk men saw Sandra and teased her. She was about to use her bag to fight when Finn rushed out to protect and chase the other guys away. Finn quickly explained that it was a fan and he completely dodged the kiss. Finn asked Sandra if she was jealous. She blushed and denied it. Finn took Sandra home and tried to touch Sandra's hand, but she pulled away. Sandra told Finn not to talk to her or tempt her anymore. Finn did not see Sandra at the pub for many days and received no reply to his messages. He went to the hospital where Sandra worked and waited for her. When he saw Sandra, he gave her a notebook, a bottle of wine, some of her favorite meat, and a piece of paper, asking her to read the entire notebook. Then Finn hugged her and left. Sandra was overwhelmed by the continuous actions and stood there in a daze. When she got home, she read the notebook next to Finn's bottle of wine and meat. The notebook detailed Sandra's life from many years ago, how she used to love traveling and had dated bad boys but bravely broke up with them. Sandra realized that Finn had loved her for 10 years, from when he was a young boy until now. Sandra read Finn's notebook and was touched. She ran to Maddie's pub, and when Finn saw her, he ran to hug her. Finn then took Sandra to explore places she had never been before. Sandra, no longer afraid, opened her heart to receive sweet new love.